Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to practice English in a fun and interactive way. We will use a technique called shadowing. Have you heard of it before? It is a simple but powerful method to improve your pronunciation, rhythm, and speaking confidence. Now, how can you use it? In this video, I will tell you a short English story. Listen carefully to each sentence. Then pause the video and say the sentence out loud. Repeat it just like you heard it. Copy the voice, the speed, and the emotion. You can watch the video many times. Practice again and again. The more you shadow, the better your English will become. Are you ready to start? Let's begin the story now. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy learning with us. Let's dive into the story now. My name is Anna. I am 27 years old. I work in a software company. I love my job. I always work hard. I never come late. I finish my work on time. My manager is very happy with me. One day my manager called me. He said, "Anna, we have a business meeting in Singapore. You are selected to go." I was shocked. I asked me, "Are you sure?" He smiled and said, "Yes, you deserve it." I felt proud and happy. It was my first trip outside the country. I told my parents. They were happy too. I packed my clothes. I took my passport. I was ready for the flight. At the airport, something strange happened. I was standing in line for check-in. Suddenly, a woman dropped her bag. Papers were flying everywhere. I helped her collect them. She looked at me and said, "Thank you." Then she looked surprised. She asked, "Are you Anna?" I was confused. "Yes, but how do you know my name?" She smiled. "I used to be your school teacher." I looked at her carefully. "Oh my God, Miss Harini." She nodded and hugged me. We both laughed. We talked for some time. She was now living in Canada. She was going to Singapore for a seminar. We exchanged numbers. Then we went to our gates. In the flight, I looked outside the window. I felt nervous but excited. This trip was going to be special, but I didn't know how special. I landed in Singapore in the morning. The airport was big and beautiful. I took a taxi to my hotel. The driver spoke English with a funny accent. I smiled and enjoyed the ride. At the hotel, I checked in. My room was on the 10th floor. The view was amazing. I could see the city and the sea. The next day was the meeting. I got ready in a black suit. I reached the business center on time. The meeting went well. I gave my presentation. Everyone clapped. My boss was proud. After the meeting, I had 2 free days. I wanted to explore Singapore. I took a map and went out. I visited Marina Bay Sands. I saw the Merlion. I went to gardens by the bay. Everything was beautiful. While walking, I slipped and fell. My ankle was hurt. People were walking, but no one stopped. I tried to get up. Then a young man ran to me. "Are you okay?" he asked. "I think I twisted my ankle," I said. He helped me stand. He said, "Let's go to a clinic." He took me in his car. He was kind and gentle. At the clinic, the doctor said, "It's a small sprain." I thanked the young man. "My name is Ruin," he said. "I am from Sri Lanka too." I smiled. "What a small world," I said. He helped me back to the hotel. We talked a lot on the way. He worked in Singapore as a photographer. He loved art and travel. That evening, he brought dinner for me. We ate and laughed. He made me feel safe. I felt something special in my heart. The next day, my ankle felt better. I wanted to buy gifts. Ruin said, "I'll take you shopping." We went to Orchard Road. There were many shops, lights were everywhere, music was playing. I bought chocolates, perfume, and a handbag. Then I went into a small art shop. I saw a painting. It looked familiar. I looked closely. It was a painting of my village temple. "How is this here?" I asked. The shopkeeper said, "A Sri Lankan artist painted it." I turned to Ruin. He was smiling. "I painted that," he said softly. I was shocked. "Really?" He nodded. "I miss home, so I painted." My heart was full. He was not just kind, he was talented too. That night we walked near the bay. The city lights reflected on the water. We sat on a bench. The wind was cool. Ruin said, "I never felt this happy in years." I looked at him. "I feel the same." He held my hand. "Will you meet me again after this trip?" he asked. I smiled. "I would love to." Then he kissed my forehead. It felt peaceful. I knew this trip had changed my life. I returned home after 2 days. My parents were waiting at the airport. They saw the smile on my face. I told them about the meeting. I also told them about Ruin. My mom smiled. "He sounds like a good man," she said. Ruin and I talked every day. He visited Sri Lanka after 1 month. He met my family. They loved him. We got married in a small ceremony. We invited close friends and family. Miss Harini also came from Canada. She said, "You have grown so much now." We live together in Singapore. I work in a new company here. Ruin still paints and takes photos. We walk by the bay often. Every time we pass that bench, I remember our first talk, our first walk, and our first touch. I hope you enjoyed the story, and I hope you practice speaking English with me. Remember, English is not just about grammar and tests. It's about real people, real feelings, real stories. So don't stop now. Watch the video again. Repeat after me. Practice shadowing until your voice feels strong and clear. And remember, every time you speak, you grow. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more stories and practice, and share this video with a friend who wants to improve their English. Thank you for learning with me. You're doing great and I'm so proud of you. See you in the next story. Bye for now. Expanding on the English learning journey through shadowing and storytelling learning. English is a transformative journey that opens doors to global communication, career opportunities, and cultural exchange. In today's interconnected world, proficiency in English is not merely a skill but a necessity for many. However, the path to fluency can be daunting, filled with complex grammar rules, extensive vocabulary, and the challenge of mastering pronunciation. Traditional methods often focus on rote memorization and written exercises, leaving learners unprepared for real-life conversations. This is where innovative techniques like shadowing come into play, transforming language learning into an engaging and effective experience. Shadowing, as introduced in the video, is a technique where learners listen to a native speaker and immediately repeat what they hear, mimicking the pronunciation, intonation, rhythm, and emotion. This method is rooted in the concept of muscle memory and auditory imitation, which are crucial for acquiring a new language naturally. When you shadow, you are not just repeating words. You are training your mouth, tongue, and vocal cords to produce sounds that may be unfamiliar. You are also tuning your ears to the subtle nuances of the language, such as stress patterns and connected speech. Over time, this practice builds confidence and fluency, making speaking English feel more automatic and less forced. The video script provides a perfect example of how shadowing can be integrated into a learning session. By using a story, the creator makes the practice enjoyable and relatable. Stories are powerful tools for language learning because they provide context, emotion, and repetition in a meaningful way. When learners engage with a story, they are more likely to remember vocabulary and phrases because they are connected to a narrative and characters. Anna's story, for instance, is rich with everyday language, travel-related terms, and emotional expressions, making it ideal for shadowing practice. Let's delve deeper into the shadowing technique. To maximize its benefits, learners should follow a structured approach. First, listen to the entire story without interruption to get a sense of the flow and context. Then, break it down into sentences or short phrases. Play one sentence, pause the video, and repeat it aloud, trying to match the speaker's voice as closely as possible. Pay attention to the pitch, speed, and pauses. If certain sounds are difficult, isolate them and practice repeatedly. For example, in Anna's story, words like software, Singapore, presentation, and photographer might pose pronunciation challenges. Shadowing helps overcome these by allowing focused imitation. Moreover, shadowing improves listening comprehension. As you repeat sentences, you become more aware of how words are linked together in spoken English. In rapid speech, words often blend, such as I am becoming I am or going to becoming gonna. In the story, phrases like I'm from Sri Lanka too demonstrate this. By shadowing, learners internalize these contractions and reductions, making their own speech more natural. Now, let's analyze Anna's story from a language learning perspective. The story uses simple present and past tenses, which are fundamental for English learners. For example, my name is Anna. I am 27 years old, introduces present tense for stating facts. One day my manager called me, shifts to past tense for narration. This mix helps learners practice different verb forms. Additionally, the dialogue portions, like, Are you okay? And I think I twisted my ankle, provide examples of question forms and common expressions used in daily conversations. The vocabulary in the story covers various themes: work, software company, manager, business meeting, presentation, travel, airport, passport, flight, taxi, hotel, emotions, shocked, proud, happy, nervous, excited, and relationships, teacher, family, friend. Learners can expand their lexicon by grouping related words. For instance, from Marina Bay Sands, Merlion, and Gardens by the Bay, they can learn about tourist attractions in Singapore. Similarly, words like sprain, clinic, and doctor are useful for health-related conversations. Cultural elements in the story also enrich the learning experience. Anna is from Sri Lanka, and she meets Ruin, who is also Sri Lankan, in Singapore. This highlights the diaspora and multicultural interactions. Singapore itself is portrayed as a vibrant city with a blend of modernity and nature. References to Sri Lankan culture, such as the village temple painting, add depth. For learners, this exposes them to different cultures, fostering intercultural communication skills, which are essential in today's globalized world. Beyond language, Anna's story carries themes of serendipity, kindness, and love. The chance encounter with Miss Harini at the airport and with Ruin after her fall shows how unexpected events can lead to meaningful connections. These themes make the story memorable and engaging, which is crucial for sustained learning motivation. When learners are emotionally invested, they are more likely to practice repeatedly. To further utilize this story for English practice, learners can engage in additional activities. For example, after shadowing, they can try to summarize the story in their own words, either orally or in writing. This reinforces comprehension and production skills. They can also role-play dialogues from the story, such as the conversation between Anna and her manager or between Anna and Ruin. This builds conversational fluency. Additionally, learners can create their own versions of the story, changing details like the destination or characters to practice creativity with language. For advanced learners, the story can be a springboard for discussing deeper topics. For instance, they can talk about the challenges of working abroad, the importance of cultural adaptation, or the role of chance in life. This encourages critical thinking and expressive language use. The video concludes with motivational messages, emphasizing that English is about real people and real stories. This mindset shift is vital. Many learners get caught up in perfectionism, fearing mistakes. But language is a tool for communication, and mistakes are part of the learning process. Shadowing, with its focus on imitation, reduces the pressure to be perfect and encourages practice without fear. In continuation, let's explore the psychological aspects of language learning. Shadowing not only improves linguistic skills, but also builds confidence. When learners hear themselves sounding more like native speakers, their self-efficacy increases. This is evident in Anna's story. She starts nervous but grows confident through her experiences. Similarly, learners can mirror this journey by consistently practicing shadowing. Moreover, the social aspect of language learning is highlighted. Anna's interactions with others, her manager, Miss Harini, Ruin, show that language is learned through communication. Learners should seek opportunities to use English in real conversations, whether online or in person. Shadowing prepares them for these interactions by making their speech more fluent and comprehensible. From a pedagogical perspective, the video demonstrates effective scaffolding. It starts with clear instructions, then provides a modeled story, and finally encourages independent practice. This aligns with Vygotsky's zone of proximal development, where learners are guided until they can perform tasks on their own. Teachers and learners alike can adopt this structure in their sessions. To address different learning styles, shadowing can be combined with other methods. Visual learners can benefit from watching the speaker's mouth movements in the video. Auditory learners can focus on listening and repeating. Kinesthetic learners can use gestures while speaking to embody the language. Multisensory approaches enhance retention. Now, let's consider the technological advantages. The video format allows for pause, rewind, and replay, enabling self-paced learning. Learners can practice anytime, anywhere, making it convenient for busy schedules. Additionally, they can record themselves and compare with the original to identify areas for improvement. This self-assessment fosters autonomy. For learners at different proficiency levels, the story can be adapted. Beginners can shadow shorter phrases, while advanced learners can shadow longer passages or focus on specific aspects like intonation patterns. The key is consistent practice. As the video says, the more you shadow, the better your English will become. In terms of pronunciation, shadowing helps with difficult sounds for non-native speakers. For example, Sri Lankan speakers might struggle with per v and with sounds, as seen in very and work. By shadowing, they can practice these distinctions. Similarly, the rhythm of English, which is stress-timed, can be mastered through imitation. In the story, sentences like, "I always work hard," have stressed syllables that give English its melody. Grammar and context is another benefit. Instead of learning rules in isolation, learners see how grammar is used in narrative. For instance, the past perfect tense is not explicitly taught but can be inferred from sequences of events. This implicit learning is powerful for acquisition. Vocabulary acquisition is enhanced through repeated exposure. In shadowing, learners encounter words multiple times, which aids memory. For example, Singapore appears several times, reinforcing its pronunciation and spelling. Additionally, collocations like business meeting, check-in, and twisted my ankle are learned as chunks, which is how native speakers process language. The story also includes idiomatic expressions like "what a small world," which learners can adopt for their own use. Shadowing helps with the natural delivery of such phrases. From a motivational standpoint, the video ends with positive reinforcement. "You redoing great, and I'm so proud of you." This kind of encouragement is crucial for maintaining learner engagement. Language learning is a marathon, not a sprint, and celebrating small victories keeps learners motivated. To expand on the story, learners can imagine what happens next in Aina and Ruan's life. They can write or speak about future events, practicing future tenses and conditional structures. This extends the learning beyond the video. In conclusion, the combination of shadowing and storytelling offers a holistic approach to English learning. It addresses pronunciation, listening, vocabulary, grammar, and fluency in an engaging way. Aina's story serves as a mirror for learners' own aspirations and challenges, making the practice relatable. By incorporating shadowing into their routine, learners can accelerate their progress and gain confidence in using English for real-world communication. As a final note, remember that language learning is a personal journey. Everyone progresses at their own pace. The key is to enjoy the process, embrace mistakes, and persist. With tools like shadowing and resources like this video, learners have everything they need to succeed. So, keep practicing, keep shadowing, and keep growing. Your English journey is just beginning. This additional content provides a comprehensive analysis and extension of the original text, aiming to enrich the learning experience and offer practical insights for English learners.